This is going to be chaos. I hope you're ready. Welcome in, spooks. This video is going to be my June wrap-up and also the wrap-up of my TBR shelf challenge. If you don't know which video I'm talking about, I will link it down below. Feel free to go and have a look at how many books I intended to read by the end of June 2025, which when I set that goal seemed so far away. And now here we are. Well, not quite. So it is actually the 5th of June today. So we are beginning of June, but I'm going to take you along on the ride of me trying to complete my TBR shelf challenge. So obviously, as I said, we're slightly in the month of June already, but let me tell you the stats of where we are currently at. So if we want to be super specific, it is currently the middle of the day on June 5th. I'm on my lunch break and I did do some reading this morning. I woke up early and got some reading done, but as of this very moment, I have 9 books left on my TBR. Now, reading 9 books in a month is not unheard of for me. It's not the norm, I wouldn't say. It's not easy, but not unheard of. But one of those books is Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, which is 771 pages. Yeah, we're partway through. I think I'm maybe 150 pages in. So real big emphasis on the part, but we are partway through. I've got my spreadsheet here, of course. So, as it currently stands on June the 5th, did I mention it's June the 5th? Take a shot every time I say June 5th. Oh, June 3rd. Oh, I missed June 3rd and I didn't celebrate it. Okay, right, we've segued into Gilmore Girls references. Hang on. There are 9 books I need to read, which total 2,889 pages. There is 25 days left in the month, including today, I guess? Yeah, including today. I can do 30 minus 25. That means I would need to read 116 pages a day to complete this challenge. Now, Past Jess thought ahead, and Past Jess has booked a couple of days off work within the month so that I can have some proper good reading, vlogging days. So I'm hopeful. I've got a full spreadsheet on what book I need to read on what day to make sure I finish by the end of the month. It's all been done via how many hours it would take to listen to it or how many pages it takes, the average time it takes me to read a page. I have taken this seriously, spooks. So let me tell you what I'm currently halfway through. I am, as I said, about 150 pages of the way through Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I am probably exactly 50% of the way through Sunbringer by Hannah Kaner, and I'm maybe 10%, maybe 15% of the way through Divine Might by Natalie Haynes. So we made some progress. I'm looking over here because the books are piled over there, so I'm trying to remember what I'm currently reading. But there are obviously still 6 books that I have yet to start, not picked up whatsoever. So let me stop yapping and wasting my lunch break yapping, chatting, and start reading. Let's go. Look how empty the shelf is looking. I mean, all I've done is put my TBR books here in a pile. But look how empty. I worked out that I can still read all of these books in June if I am committed. And I am not a quitter.
Remember when you told me that I should take it slow, but I can't stay when the world is waiting. I'm too used to being on my own. Hearts will break, but I have to chase it. I'm dancing on the edge again. The wind is calling my name. I'm dancing on the edge again. This time I'm not looking back, babe. You can change me, you can tell me down. I'll be echoes in every place I find. I'll break them all.
I'm on page 156. I'm talking quietly because it is, hi Mario, 6:22 in the AM on Thursday the 5th of June. Ooh, free money. Thank you, Sofa. I can all but guarantee that is not mine. Right, where are we up to? Page 187. And I think, yeah, 50% of the way through. We've got this, let's go. It's so pretty. That is one book down. Just 8 to go. Sunbringer by Hannah Kana. Done. These restless feet won't keep me grounded. The open road's the only place I found where I feel alive and the stars will guide me. I'm dancing on the edge again. The wind is calling my name. I'm dancing on the edge again. This time I'm not looking back, babe. You can change me, you can tell me down. I'll be back, goes in every place I find. I break the molds with rebels mind. I'm a hurricane of free born mind. A free born mind. Free born mind. You can change me, you can tell me down. I'll be goes in every place I find. I break the molds with rebels mind. I'm a hurricane of free. I've just got everything set up to start filming my Rory Gilmore. If Rory Gilmore did a readathon challenge. So these are the books still I need to read in June. There's 8 of them, but I am not even worried. I'm not even worried. I'm ready. Mars is so cute. This is actually so cute so far. Have a little catch up. Now, I would have had a catch up with you this morning. I, for once, woke up early. I say for once in the last week or so, woke up early. I'll get to that in a minute. But I achieved. I woke up early. I came into the lounge. I sat on the sofa, and the sun blessed me with a beam of light. I was blessed. I sat on the sofa and I was in a direct beam of sunlight. It was the most aesthetically beautiful thing I've ever witnessed. Yeah. And I thought, perfect time to bring my camera around, which was already attached to its tripod, ready to go, and film me reading the book that I was currently reading this morning. I bring the tripod round, I settle in with my little coffee with my little book, and I reach up and I press record. No memory card. New memory card. Okay. Annoying. Happens all the time. That's why I'm so irritated. Happens all the time. I take the memory card out to do my editing business, and then I don't put the memory card back in the camera. It's fine. I'm perhaps a little testy today, but it's fine. So let me manually tell you what I have been reading today. Today is the 11th of June. We still have time in the month, but I think I'm getting a tad overwhelmed. Yeah, I've had to do a little bit of creative adjustments, shall we say. So I am allowing myself a DNF. I'm also allowing myself a TBR jar relegation. So I was meant to read for the prompt first book in a series, Witch King. My guys, I cannot get through it. Cannot get through it. So I have DNF'd it. I don't even think I'll ever go back to it. I've DNF'd it. I'm taking my one DNF. It's fine. I got halfway through or partway through Divine Might by Natalie Haynes, and I'm relegating it to the TBR jar. One day, I will want to read through this, but the day is not now. The day is not today. The day is not going to happen this month. I am sure of it. It's putting me in a reading slump, and I don't have time for reading slumps. So I'm being a little more, not harsh, but careful the way I spend my time. And I know that I'm not enjoying The Witch King. I don't think I will, so just don't think about it. Remove it from your life. But Divine Might, I do think I will enjoy. I just think right now it's reading too non-fiction dry for me, and I need a break. So I'm putting it in the TBR jar. It's already in there. That does mean that unfortunately I've freed up some prompts that have not been fulfilled. So the first in the series I cannot fulfill using my TBR shelf. And in my little pea brain, I was like, okay, that's fine. I will buy something short and slot it in. But we've already done that with the prompt, a book set in the future. The point is not to buy books to fulfill prompts. If you have to every now and then, fine. The TBR game was not designed for that. The proof's in the name. It was to finish my TBR. It was to read the books on my shelf. So we're not going to do that. I can find no other way to fulfill that prompt without buying something or reading something extra, which then puts my TBR shelf challenge at risk. So I'm just not going to. Basically, this is me telling you I'm accepting that I might just fail my TBR game for June so that I can complete my TBR shelf challenge. Do you see the bigger picture? You see the big picture? Okay. So that's my first problem. But also Divine Might had sprayed edges, and I have the exact same issue in that nothing fits. However, I do have A Fellowship of Bakers and Magic by J. Penner, and she is sprayed to high heavens. I am so excited to read this one. I feel like some cozy whimsical fantasy would be right up my street right now. It's not very long, so I'm going to save it to the very, very end of the month, and if I have time, I'm going to read this. And that will fulfill the sprayed edge prompt. That still won't mean that I complete the TBR game, but I just really want to read it, so we'll see if we have time, otherwise I'm not going to worry about it. But let me tell you about what I've actually been reading. So I am 3/4 of... Why do you have two bookmarks? That's misleading. I'm 3/4 of the way through Weird Woods. I'm not enjoying it. Like, it's fine, but I think... it's okay in that I quite like the gothic, old-timey horror stories, but I think I just have to remember they're not horror stories. What I think of horror is not what that is. Horror has obviously grown and changed and adapted a lot over the years, but I think if I think of them more like, I guess they're ghost stories. So they are like the story that your nan would tell you. That's how I need to view it. Maybe it isn't even horror, maybe it's just called ghost stories. I'm just going to put the cat down. I'm sure he'll be back in 0.02 seconds. So that one's fine, I'm almost done with it, and it's a bit of a slog, but I'm not DNFing anything else. I don't think. I am on page 113 of The Silence of the Girls. I always forget if there's a "the" at the start of titles. The Silence of the Girls by Pat Parker. Very interested, super hooked. I think I said in my intro or an earlier clip that I soft DNF'd this when I thought it was a bit too much. And I'm obviously in a much better frame of mind, if you can even believe it, these days, because I got through that part and it was fine. And I'm now very interested in where the story goes. Hooked. The bin lorry is outside. Sorry if you can hear that. This is the book that I was reading this morning, Watch Over Me by Neil LaCour. And I am zooming through. It's a very quick read. The pages don't have like that much text on every now and then. So I am now on page number 209. Loving this so far. It's currently reading very YA, but I think that the message and the way that this has been done is super, super clever. I will tell you more about it when I finish reading it. I did finish a book yesterday. It was Project Nought by Chelsea Farady, and this is a graphic novel. It is a queer graphic novel. It is a sci-fi set in the future for that prompt, and it was probably one of the sweetest, most beautiful things I've read. It was a 5-star read. So this made me then want so badly to read more graphic novels that I had to be like, hang on, we have a job to do this month. We can't be reading or buying extra books. So I resisted. But unfortunately, this is, I do think the author has written something else, but for some reason this is labelled as debut. So I don't know what the previous thing was, but whatever. I'm just going to hope that the author releases something new soon, because I need it, Chelsea. In my heart, in my soul, deep within me, I need it. It is a necessity. Anyway, so that's one book completed, one book down. We're still partway through The Griefkeeper, partway through The Witch at the End of the World, partway through Goldfinch. The Goldfinch, see, I do it all the time. So that's still ongoing, but my main reads at the moment are the 3 that I have now mentioned. I haven't updated my spreadsheet in a while to see how many pages I need to read each day to complete, but I still think I'm on top of it. The only issue I have is it's kind of becoming my entire life this month, and I don't think my mental state is thanking me for that. I'm now recovering from a cold as well, so I've kind of been shut away for a little while because I work in a corporate building, and if you have a cold, you work from home. Like, there are no if, buts and maybes. If you cough in the office, people are like, Dale, go home. So I am working from home, and that's fine. I understand that and appreciate that. And if it was shoe on the other foot, I would be asking everyone else to go home. Damn, that's good. But I'm now at the tail end of this cold, and I'm hoping I can be released into the wild again soon. But aside from work, I also have not been leaving the house. I had a very, very busy weekend just past, and it is only now Wednesday, so it's not that crazy. But I'm not used to being at home this length of time, and I think I'm doing a strug. But I do actually have a nail appointment this evening. I'm going to go to the gym. I haven't been going to the gym this week because I don't feel like running when you've got a cough is a good idea, so I haven't been. But now I feel better. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get my nails done and feel like a human again. And a part of society. I've been hermiting a little bit too close to the sun, so we're going to correct that and, yeah, look after my brain. So I'm going to take some pressure off. I want to complete it. Like, a challenge is what I enjoy. I enjoy a challenge. I enjoy having a goal to work towards. I enjoy the pressure and the drive. I am a Virgo. I still think I can have some semblance of life this month and complete the challenge. So, watch the space, I guess. I will sit on ratings for a little while, but if I was to guess right now, I'm thinking probably a 4. It was beautiful. I think it might be YA or maybe younger? Unsure. I like more flowery writing in my lit fic, but still beautiful, beautiful concept, beautiful ending. Yeah. So you know how I literally just said to you that I think I'm going to fail my TBR game for June because I don't have on my shelf a suitable first book in the series? You know what Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna Maguire is? Oh, I'll tell you. It's the first book in a series and it's short.
Baby, now we're strangers. Just two people in a crowded room. I don't even know your name yet, but I know I'm gonna fall for you. Walking over to you with a drink in my hand. They say I move too fast,
are so many fans facing me right now. I feel like Beyonce. Let's turn them off. You know, I've been putting together all these little clips of things that I've been up to in June, and you know what I should have taken a clip of? Me taking the bin out this morning. I can hear the bin lorry outside right now. I had a last minute panic of we've not put the bin out and our recycling bin is full. I'm the problem. I'm aware I'm the problem, but I fill that bin up easy in a week. So we had forgotten to put the bin out. Mario, my son. Yeah, we'd forgotten to put the bin out. Spencer had gone to work. And I was like, I can do this. Now, I can do this. I lived alone for quite a while. Managed to put my bin out every week, you know, no problems. But where our bin lives at this house, it's like there is a gap in the hedge and that's where the bins are stored. And so, naturally, cobwebs, spiders everywhere. Let me remove my son. And I don't know what it is about bins, but spiders just love bins, right? So there's always big spiders covered in cobwebs. And then, to get the bin to the front of the house, you have to go down by the side of the house. Not too scary in concept, right? Wrong. There is a... You know what that just sounded like? You know that clip where... I don't even know who it is, but it's the guy from... Is it the guy from... I don't even know. I'm not giving you any information to go on. But you know when they say... when he's like, Tupperware, and he's like, what you saying? What you saying? Tupperware. Wrong. That's what that just sounded like. I hope you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna try and put like a screenshot of what I'm talking about right here. Anyway, wrong. Wrong, let me tell you for why. This is gonna sound really beautiful, and it maybe has potential to be beautiful, but we don't garden that much, so it's not that beautiful. There is a archway, and it's got really, really pretty flowers all around the archway. I didn't do this. The person who lived here before, like, cultivated the garden. It looks so pretty. We just tried to maintain what they did. Somebody else's hard work. So it's a very pretty archway, but it hangs down quite a lot. And so I got my feather duster, because I'm not walking through cobwebs today, thank you very much. And I was wafting it around in front of me, dragging the bin behind me. I had to clean the bin as well, because cobwebs everywhere. I'm wafting, I'm going through the little archway. At one point I hit the bin into the archway, panicked that I then made spiders fall on my head, and so I had a little moment, you know the one. All this time I'm like, I know my neighbour is in his garden, I know he can hear this, and I'm pep talking the whole time, out loud pep talking. This is fine, I can do this. I don't want this bin to be sat here another week, you've got this. Yeah, the things that my neighbour hears, I feel we're close without being close, you know? So I'm pulling this bin through, I finally get through the archway, and then I get all the way down the side of the house, I'm wafting, I get to the gate, I unlock the gate, I open the gate, cobweb straight in the face. All I'm saying is, not all heroes wear capes. I got that bin out 10 minutes before the bin lorry came, and I got a cobweb to the face, despite trying so hardly to avoid just exactly that. It was fine. I came back in the house and the whole like full rub down, you know, and told my cats all about it. I hope that they're proud of me. Toughest soldier, toughest challenge. And so, to the tune of the bin lorry loading my bin, let me tell you what I've read so far this month. We are currently on the 20th of June. My screen is right behind you, but I am so early. I am not working right now. This is pre-work time. They're not getting extra time out of me today. It's a Friday. And I'll tell you what I've read so far. I'm sure that in some of the previous clips I've already told you what I finished, but I honestly cannot remember. So if some of this is a repeat, I'm sorry. Skip me, mute me, unfollow me, block me, comment that I suck. Please don't do any of that. I'm very delicate. I'm just kidding. Please don't do that. So I must have already told you that I finished Sunbringer. I rated that 3.5 stars. Was quite good. I'm not going to give full reviews, by the way, because there's too many books this month and it would just be too much for my brain to handle. But I will tell you that I very much like the idea of Sunbringer and Godkiller, and I'm very excited to read the third one. Or, not very excited. I would like to read the third one, for the plot only. I could not be less connected to these characters if I tried. I have no feelings towards any of them, so I don't know whether that's a me problem, or whether that's a writing problem, I'm not sure. But the series is quite well liked, so I think it's probably just a me problem, but I'm just not connected. I then read Watch Over Me by Nina LaCour. I rated this one 3.5 stars. It was a very beautiful concept on trauma and the personification of trauma. Like, the ghosts of your past being literal ghosts. Okay, I don't want to say any more because I don't want to spoil it in case someone's interested in reading it, but my only qualm, if you will, that I think it could have been a 5-star read. That's why I'm saying there's a qualm. Otherwise 3.5 stars is great and I wouldn't say anything. But it was so potentially beautiful. I just think the writing was quite simple, and it's a literary fiction, and for my literary fiction, this is just a personal me choice, I like flowery purple prose. I like stunning, long, rambling sentences that are descriptive and beautiful and I want to tab them all. I tabbed nothing, which tells you everything. Then I read The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker, and I unfortunately only rated this 3 stars. I say unfortunately as though 3 stars is not a good rating. 3 stars is a good rating, but for a Greek mythology retelling, I thought I'd be looking at 5 stars. That is my track record with Greek mythology, usually. The issue I had with it was, if you're writing a retelling, I need the main characters' voices to be so strong. I need to read something that I have never read before. I don't know how else you do a retelling justice if you're not making the voices profound. Do you know what I mean by that? It is just a recounting of what happened. There is no extra voice or opinion or character added to that. And this is supposed to be obviously like a feminist retelling. I mean, it's called The Silence of the Girls. It's supposed to be about women finding their voice, finding their power, and I do feel like the plot tried to do that, but I still felt like there wasn't much personality to it. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I will, however, read you one quote. I've tabbed 3 things. Oh, I'm going to read you all 3. This is when I thought, oh, this is going to be a 5-star read. I won't give you any spoilers in case you don't know the story or you haven't read this and you want to. Basically, our main character has lost her husband and her brothers and is now a slave. So she has been told to forget about her previous life. And she says, internal monologue here, forget. So there was my duty laid out in front of me, as simple and clear as a bowl of water. Remember. Well, that's so profound given the title of the book, that these women will not be silenced, or they will find their voice in another way. So while she can't outwardly remember and speak about her previous experiences, in her mind, that's all she's going to do. It's like a rebellion, and I love that so much. That was page 20, and I was like, oh, we're in for such a good ride. Unfortunately for me, it didn't fully deliver. The next quote was just something I thought was really beautifully written about feeling love, and it was when she was standing by the ocean, and I thought that the juxtaposition, if you will, of sea and love, sea being this beautiful but also extremely dangerous, terrifying thing, and then love being this also beautiful but potentially really scary thing because you're being vulnerable. I just thought that juxtaposition was stunning. So she's talking about the sea. I listened and let it soothe me, this ceaseless ebb and flow, the crash of the breaking wave, the grating sigh of its retreat. It was like lying on the chest of somebody who loves you, somebody you know you can trust. Though the sea loves nobody and can never be trusted. True. But I thought that juxtaposition of comparing sea to love was stunning. The last one was right near the end, and it was just talking about grief. There will be a slight spoiler in this one because if you know the story of the Trojan War, then you will know who dies. But if you don't know that, and this will be a spoiler for you and you want to read it, skip this next little scene here, okay? The next 30 seconds. Even his grief for Patroclus grows easier with the approach of his own death. It's not the tearing, rending agony of amputation it used to be, but an almost peaceful feeling, as if Patroclus had gone ahead of him into the next room. Stunning. That was stunning. But unfortunately the book as a whole was just 3 stars. Next up, just yesterday morning, I finished reading The Witches at the End of the World by Chelsea Iverson. Now this book is a historical witchy fantasy rooted in sisterhood and friendship and found family and love. I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. I rated it 2 stars, and I'm sad about it because if something is witchy, I am usually here for it. But the issue I had with it was there was very, very little description. So there was no world building at the start or even woven throughout. I couldn't really picture where they were, and my main gripe with it, I guess, was that there was no explanation on the magic system. We are led to believe that at least one of the witches does things via fire, and can cast spells that way, but we do not find out whether this was, I know it's like vaguely inherited, but whether this was fully inherited, whether this was a learned skill, and whether you can hone the skill, whether you can learn more. It was very, very vague. There was also, no spoilers, there was also a big betrayal. So there are two sisters in this, by the way, and the sisters' relationship, beautiful. Love that so much. Love reading about sisters and sister dynamics. Very much enjoyed that. However, there was a big betrayal between these two sisters, which was extremely easily forgiven. Massive betrayal. Think horrifying and super easily forgiven. And I think it was all over within like a few pages. And I thought, oh, this is the third act breakup, you know, this is going to be meaty, this is going to tear everything apart. It did not. And that was disappointing because I wanted the drama. So unfortunately, just 2 stars. So that's where we're at with the books. It is, as I said, the 20th of June. So I have 10 days left to read. So I've got some time. I'm feeling hopeful. I'm still looking at about 100 pages a day if I want to complete the TBR shelf challenge, which is definitely doable. But obviously I then have to add in those 2 extra books if I want to. If I want to pass my TBR game for June. We will see. Anyway, that's enough of an update for now. I've rambled on for long enough. It is now almost time to start work, so I'm going to go do that. Tell everybody at work that I took the bin out. I'm honestly so brave.
When you're not around, but I'm not afraid to chase you. I'll find you in the neon lights, walking over to you with a drink in my hand. They say I move too fast, but I don't give a damn. Don't know your name yet, but I know you're gonna fall for me too. Make it cinematic, love like fire on the big screen. I only have eyes for you. We make it cinematic. Our love's like that, it's such a classic.
Final day is here. It's the 30th of June, and I know this looks a little insane and not doable, but I'm partway through all of these. I will tell you the stats, but today is the last day, and we're getting this finished. There is no way I'm taking any of these current reads into July tomorrow. There's just no way. Do you have faith in me? Because I'm not sure I have faith in myself, but we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. This feels crazy, but I'm still confident. Is it misplaced confidence? Perhaps. Let's talk the figures. I've got a spreadsheet, naturally. I'll show you the spreadsheet in a second, but first up, we have the Goldfinch. I'm sure you've seen these books so many times now. I'm on page 727 of 771, I think it is, of 771. So I have 44 pages left of the Goldfinch to read. Easy. Then we have Herc by Phoenicia Rogerson. I've taken the dust jacket off, obviously. I was just listening to this whilst playing some games, and I am on page 371 of 400, meaning I've got 29 pages left to read. Again, easy. I'm just going in size order of my pile, because there are 2 books on there that aren't actually part of my TBR shelf challenge, because I like to make things really hard for myself. This is Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna Maguire, and this isn't going to be focused whatsoever, it's fine. And this is just so I can complete my TBR game for June. But I haven't started this yet. It's only 100 and something pages. 107, oh wait, that's about the author. 169 pages long. Easy, right? Again, just for the TBR game for June, not my TBR shelf, I have a Fellowship of Bakers and Magic, and that's for my sprayed edges prompt. The Every Heart a Doorway is for first in a series prompt. I am almost finished. I saved the end for today. I'm on page 247 of 291. So again, 44 pages left. We do have Weird Woods, Tales from the Haunted Forest of Britain. There are like 3 different bookmarks in here. I'm pretty sure I finished it when I was reading it in a forest. That's a video coming out another day, so I won't tell you any thoughts about it. I'm just gonna have a flick through later and make sure I've definitely read every single one, because I read them out of order. Chaos. And then finally, I just need to read today We Should All Be Feminists by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. and that should only take, what, half an hour. So it's very small, it's very short, the font is big. I've already watched the video, so it's nothing new, I just want to read it. So, excluding this one and Weird Woods, I have 275 pages to read today, which, if I calculated correctly, equates to about 6 hours and 15 minutes maybe. That's my math on my spreadsheet. So I guess, less yapping and let's start reading. I have the entire day off work. I immediately was like, less yapping. Wait, let me yap a little bit more. All I was gonna say was I have the whole day off work. I'm actually home alone like all evening as well, so I've got all evening to read. And I'm kind of doing, it almost feels like a repeat of my Rory Gilmore challenge, because I've got 5 books, I guess. I think I've already read Weird Woods, but I need to check. That was such a hard sentence to say. I've already read Weird Woods. I need to double check. But yeah, so I've maybe got 5 books I need to read today, or just finish off. So I'm in like a really good position because I'm already stuck into all these books. Let's continue reading before we run out of time. And I'm now going to update my spreadsheet, but I wanted to tell you my initial thoughts. I might stick to this rating, but sometimes my feelings change when I think about it for a little while. But just off the first impressions of finishing it, it's not really my favourite. All the way through I was thinking, this is good, it's fine, but it's no more than a 3-star, at most. The main gripe I had with it was it made the story and everyone else's voices and stories seem quite trivial, because it was written in a way that was humorous, which is fine. Like, if that's the way you're going, absolutely fine. It's just not personally what I enjoy when I'm reading a retelling. I prefer a bit more grit and trauma, rather than like little quips and making light of everything. Like, making light of some things is just some of the gods' personalities, but for the most part everyone had a very similar kind of outlook on things, which were just to like be silly. I don't know if that's unfair or not, but that's just my personal take on it, and I prefer something a little grittier. So I think it's probably just going to be a 3-star. I'm looking at my spreadsheet right now, and I can now tick off Perk as completed. I wanted to start reading A Fellowship of Bakers and Magic next, actually. That's what's next on my list, because I think I've got about an hour left and I think I could finish it. So I might make a little snack. I have a cinnamon bun that I'm going to put in the microwave. Might make an iced coffee and sit here and finish A Fellowship of Bakers and Magic.
It was years ago, but how can I forget? We were 16 up all night. Love and heartbreak was our life. We got drunk and smoked your dad's cigarettes. Dreamt of a life in a big town, skyscrapers and neon lights. Ooh, I still think of you.
Conversation with you, I've turned off my big fan, but the little fan has to remain. So if I'm looking at a little Beyonce music video, that's why. I have finished A Fellowship of Bakers and Magic, which, by the way, I'm not going to give you super big detail about what every book is about, because I don't have time for that. I need to be reading. But I will say it is about a magicless baker meeting some friends, entering a baking competition, finding love, etc., etc. So with that in mind, it's a very light, easy, wholesome, fun read, and I'm going to rate it as such. So is it groundbreaking? No.
Have I read all these tropes before? Yes. Did I know exactly what was going to happen? Oh, yes. I guess the plot twist, and it was a really sweet plot twist, but you know what I mean? It's like one of those things where I'm not going to rate it low because of those things, because I knew what I was getting into when I picked this up. I picked this up because I wanted something lighthearted and cute and wholesome. Look at the cover. I think you know just by the cover exactly what you're getting yourself in for. And so I'm probably going to rate it either a 3.5 or a 4. It was very sweet. I have no complaints, you know? I will never read it again. Will I continue with the series? Yes, probably. Will I recommend it to people? Probably not. But it was really sweet. So it did exactly what I needed it to do. And that's another book down. At the time, my friendly friends is 11:30. We are now ahead of schedule. I thought it would take me a lot longer to read those last few pages, but it didn't. There is an epilogue. As I'm now half an hour ahead of schedule, I might just read the epilogue. How many pages is the epilogue? Where is the epilogue? Oh, the epilogue is like 10 pages. Fine. There's then a bonus chapter, but I don't think I want to read that because I want to read the sequel, and I'd rather go in blind. And I noticed, this might even just bump it up to a 4, there are recipes at the back of this book, and some of them sound so good. I'm just going to tell you what they are. Salted brown butter chocolate chip cookies. What? That's tempting. Oh, if I had chocolate chips here right now, I would be making those. There's then all the instructions. Lemon bars with cardamom shortbread crust. Okay. Earl Grey cherry scones. I guess there's just 3? There's just 3. Oh, wait, what? The third book has fake dating. I think it's queer. Wait, is it festive? It's set in winter. Okay, I'm excited to carry on. Fine, I admit it. Maybe it's a 4-star. Okay, what's next?
I still dream of you, but if you hold me close, I won't let go again. We have time to grow. This wasn't a mistake, and we can grow old if you love me again, my friend. This time is different, so please do not let me go. Please do not let me go. It was years ago, but I still see your face. Freckles on your cheeks, how you talked in your sleep. We had plans and I was your biggest dream, yeah. Then I didn't call for weeks. Thought the love wasn't for me, no. I still think of you. I still dream of you.
Well, that's it. I finally finished the Goldfinch. Let me make myself more presentable. So here are my thoughts. And again, I've not settled on a rating yet, I don't think. There was a period at the start of the book where I was like, oh, I'm hooked. This is so interesting. There was a period, probably 60% to the end, where again, I was like, where is this going to go? At one point, there is a plot twist. If you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. And my jaw dropped. Literally, I was like, surely not. Surely, don't call me Shirley. And I could not believe it. I couldn't believe it. Did not see that's where it was going whatsoever. Loved that twist. That was beautifully done. Expertly done. However, there is a big old chunk in the middle where I was just thinking, where the heck is this going? Why am I hearing about this? This is so boring. I don't understand the relevance or the point of this. And now I've got to the end and I've seen like what Donna was trying to do. Donna, like with first name terms, Ms. Tart was trying to do. I get it, and I assume that, like, this is no spoilers, but I assume the Las Vegas portion is supposed to be slow and drawn out because that's how Theo felt while he was there, and it's building up to the roller coaster, if you will. They are on the up of the roller coaster. It's slow. It's a little bit boring, and you're like, yeah, but I know something good's coming, so I get it. But also, it could have been 300 pages shorter, 200 pages shorter. Unnecessary for it to be 780 pages. No. So it's teetering between a 3 and a 4. With the Goldfinch, I expect trauma, tragedy, shock, beauty, all wrapped up in a neat little bow at the end. And I did get that. There was just a large portion of it that was very, very dull. So if that bit wasn't there, or it was shortened, so we still get the pace change, I think it would be more like a 4, 4.5. It was very, very good at the end and very, very good at the start. Just lost me in the middle a little bit there. I am now going to make some lunch. It is 1 p.m. I'm going to have a little break. I'm going to watch some TV, watch some YouTube. I don't know, anything, just chill, rest. I was going to say rest my eyeballs, but I will be literally using them to watch TV. I just mean maybe rest my brain a bit. A little passive TV time would be nice. And then at about 2 o'clock maybe, I'm going to pick up Every Heart a Doorway, and I'm so excited. I'm hoping I can read it in a few hours. Do you know what's crazy, Spooks? Let me tell you immediately right now. If I manage to read that book in 3 hours, that will only take us to 5:30. I have a whole evening. Am I going to start on my July TBR? Although I do need to read, let's not get ahead of ourselves, I do still need to read We Should All Be Feminists? Maybe that's how I'll spend my evening. And then, I don't know, if I've got time, maybe I'll start my July TBR. That's so exciting. Anyway, lunchtime, I'm hungry.
But if you only close, I won't let go again. We have time to grow. This wasn't a mistake, and we can grow old if you love me again, my friend. This time it's different, so please do not let me go. Please do not let me go. I still think of you.
Okay, I'm back. I had a break to okay, quite a long break to have my dinner and watch some TV with Spenny. I am not putting my face on camera right now because I spilt my dinner all the way down me. But that's not what you're here for. Wait, I hope that's not what you're here for. I hate to tell you. I'm on page 130. What was it out of 169? 169. I read loads. It's really easy to get through. Oh, Mario's coming. Oh God. Are you going to walk straight across the book? No. Okay. It's so warm in the house. I think it's like 33 degrees today. It's the hottest it's been all year. The cats are having a bad time. Just can't cool down, but we've got the fan going. It's fine. Anyway, so off topic. What I was saying was it's really quick and easy to read, and I was just doing some editing of a other video and listening to it whilst kind of half reading it next to me, and I'm just whizzing my way through. So I don't think there'll be much longer until I'm finished, and then yeah, I can do whatever I want. I did flip through Weird Woods. That's the video I was editing, and yeah, I have finished it, so that's a win. I do just need to read We Should All Be Feminists. I read the first few pages while I was making tea, and yeah, we're almost there, and it's still early, so I might, I don't know, start reading something else. How exciting. Shockingly, I'm not bored of reading yet, and I have been reading all day. It's cool.
It is the 1st of July. And we did it! I completed my TBR shelf challenge that began somewhere in, was it August, September, October? I don't know when it was, 2024, and finished on the 30th of June 2025. I read every single book on my shelf, excluding the TBR jar. We exclude that from everything. And for the most part, it was a very enjoyable process. Okay, the only book left that I need to give you a kind of vague rating is Every Heart a Doorway, which I managed to leave upstairs, and above all, I am lazy and I shall not be going to get it, thank you. But I will be giving it a 4-star. It's possibly 4.5 stars, and I immediately want to buy the second book in the series. It's the Wayward Children series by Shauna Maguire. It was such a refreshing concept and such intriguing characters, and I know that the next books follow other characters that were mentioned in the first story and their kind of history and how they got to where they got, because that's the one thing I think it was lacking. Whilst it was a great story, and it seems I don't want to give spoilers, but we're kind of dumped at the end of the story, I want to know how the children got there. I want to know every single one. I want to know their story. I want to know what their world was like, the world they went into. that's different from our own world, I want details on that. So that's what I'm hoping I get from the next few books. I have heard that the series has a couple of books that are disappointing, but a couple that are really, really good. So I'm very excited to see where that goes. But otherwise, that's it, I'm done. I now can read whatever I want, and that is a really beautiful feeling. If I fail my TBR game for July, by the way, oh, also, I finished my TBR game for June by reading 2 extra books. That's what the Wayward Children series was, and the, I can never remember the title, Fellowship of Bakers and Magic or something like that. So we really went above and beyond. We don't do things by halves here. But what I was saying was, if I fail my TBR game for July, just know it's because I slightly burnt myself out. And for the most part, I just really want to listen to some podcasts and like catch up on some non-fiction and yeah, my podcasts, because I've been neglecting those whilst I've been squishing all my reading into June. So that's what I'm going to focus on for the next few days, and it's going to be beautiful. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to see another TBR shelf challenge, I guess write it in the comments down below. And if you've got this far, why? Are you okay? Should you be here? And put any face emoji, any feeling whatsoever, because we've got mixed feelings about getting this far. Mine would be sleep. It is now the next day, but I went to bed quite early yesterday because I was exhausted. So sleepy emoji would be my choice, but put any face emoji. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in a video very, very soon. Okay, bye.
Made me feel again. Now it's my turn. You say you've